Day of the Warrior, part of this impromptu ongoing series of the films of Andy Sidaris. The Sidaris scholars among you could give me a better idea, but it seems as though there's a major break in his work. He has three eras so far as I can tell. He has the beginnings of his career, then he has what you might call the true bullets, bombs, and babes era, and then he's got this, which is late era. It's a well-oiled machine in some regards, but the wheels also seem to be falling off because while Sidaris' films always had sex appeal, a little tease to them, maybe a breast, maybe two, this is breast above all. Now, look, I'm an adult. I don't mind a breast. This does not offend me. Maybe this is a step in the right direction so far as I'm concerned, but is it his best work? It feels too Cinemax, if you catch my meaning. This seems like it's for the proto-gooners, those of us that weren't able to get Spice Channel unscrambled. And part of that is he's done with the old guard of Playmates. Now we've got Julie Strain and Shay Marks. Julie Strain, many of you will recognize. She was in the Heavy Metal reboot. She's got a lot of black hair, and she's a big lady. When I say big lady, I don't mean Lizzo big. I mean Amazonian big. This is a impressively large human being. Her husband, Kevin Eastman of the Ninja Turtles fame, makes a cameo here, and he's a foot shorter than she is. This is a powerful woman. When guys get on Backpage and they're looking for a dominatrix, this is what they think they're paying for. Now, in reality, they get an art student with bad skin, but this is who they believe is going to answer the door when they go to the dungeon.
Bio said you were working at Disneyland when you were recruited. What did you do there?
I was one of the rides.
She adds a certain physicality, or at least a physical presence, that the other actresses did not have on previous Andy Sidaris films, but she's rather one note. Shay Marks, on the other hand, is just a good time. This is as busty as it gets. Shay maximized. And she has on-screen character. She's got some personality to her. I wouldn't call her comedic genius of any type, but her lines mostly land.
Everything I touch has a way of exploding.
Mind if I try it sometime?
Is she good? I mean, listen, is anybody in these movies good? I enjoyed her on camera. So those are the babes. So what's the film actually about? It's a good question, and damn if I know. There's an Ultimate Warrior-esque figure who's international crime boss or mercenary of some type. That's the Warrior in Day of the Warrior. He's seeking the revenge, or he's paid to wipe out the Lethal Girls. That's an organization. Look, it doesn't make very much sense. Of the Andy Sidaris films I've seen, this one might have the least internal logic holding it together. It starts off the rails, it stays off the rails, never regaining the rails. The Warrior is portrayed by Marcus Bagwell, otherwise known as Buff Bagwell. He's a professional wrestler. He's had a really long career.
Our contact man in Washington has succeeded in breaking into the Lethal Force computer system.
But the real highlight cast-wise is Gerald Okamura, playing Fu. Maybe you've picked up by now that I'm not a sensitive person. A film has to work double time to offend me in any way.
I'm calling Jordan right now.
Fu is making an effort.
You call that foreplay?
Now, perhaps it'll shock some of you to learn I'm not Asian, so I can't really get properly offended on anyone's behalf here, but I'm savvy enough to know this is not a particularly sensitive depiction of a Chinese man.
I assume you will have much to tell me, little butterfly.
Gerald's had a really long career, done a little of everything. Martial arts films, exploitation, Power Rangers. His stock in trade seems to be broad racial stereotypes.
Your body is like a temple. You must have used it to extract an enormous amount of information from Mr. Jordanson.
But it was a different era, and the dude is 72, so if you want to waste your time chasing a guy like that around to get some recompense for films that he made in 1994, then go for it. But the guy's a bit of a B-movie and exploitation icon. Wishing him the best in his golden years. In this film, he got paid to see Julie Strain's breast, which has got to be a little weird, honestly, for Kevin Eastman, her Ninja Turtle husband. This was an era of his life. I don't want to make too much speculation, but it seems like he was having a great time. And sometimes when you're having a great time, you make decisions that you wouldn't make otherwise. Like being in a motion picture where a guy named Fu ogles your wife's breasts. Clinton era, money was everywhere. At some point, all this stuff is just for the memoir. So in the Bullets, Bombs, and Babes pantheon, where are we putting Dave the Warrior? Well, the boobs are way bigger. The explosions are... The bombs are not as good, to be frank. There's still some aircraft in this film. You knew that was happening, though not as much as you'd assume. What about the bullets? Not that impressive. It's always a buff Jim Gay, aiming like a cowboy in Bonanza, firing until a car explodes. It's not exactly high-octane action. But we did crank the racism on this one, which I think is interesting, if nothing else.
The last time Shock contacted me, he said he and Scorpion would be working in an industrial park area. But they did not know which one or where.
Maybe sometimes you just want to get it in before the door closes, you know? I particularly like the boat action sequences here, which have some of the best ADR I've ever seen in a motion picture. I was listening on headphones and I started to believe I was schizophrenic.
Look, Chance, there they are. It's open fire.
They're shooting at us. Hit the deck. Shooting at us. Hit it.
Those guys just blast them.
Shoot. Come on, JB. Shoot. Come on, JB.
I got it now. They're all shooting at us.
Gotta go. Come on, let's
Hey,
go.
let's get out of here. Let's go the other way.
Come on. Let's rock and roll.
This is Sedaris' second to last film, and it represents some of his pivot towards pure Cinemax and also a heavy dose of I don't give a fuck anymore, whatever. By this time, he had built a machine that was running efficiently. He had a clockwork release schedule of a film a year, a whole catalog behind him, killing it in the VHS era, living well. So is there an element of losing the hunger on this film? Was he a Hollywood fat cat by this time, no longer able to connect with the artistic thirst that drove him in the first place? I don't know how much art this guy ever had, to be frank, but it's a sliding scale for these films. Is this good? Frankly, nobody on earth would say this is good. Is it entertaining to watch? As entertaining as any Sedaris film. I think this film is a work of a man who knows his strengths, acknowledges his weaknesses, and just wants to put some G-cup titties in a movie. Thank you to Tubi for an opportunity to expand my horizons.
You could own me if you just call me Cobra.